Okay, so the first thing that I have to look at, or the first thing that you should look at when you're setting up your week, is what are your goals for the week? What are you trying to get done during the course of that week? And so we're going to look at a more 400 based microcycle. But what you see here is what I'm going to be trying to get in during the course of a week. So I just use a basic 7-day microcycle. I think that's more than sufficient for the sprint events. We know, as we know, like Scott Christensen uses a 12-day microcycle for his 800, 1600 runners because of all the qualities they have to get in. I'm good with 7. I know some people that use a 10-day microcycle. You do whatever makes you feel good inside. So here's my week. Regardless of whether or not we have meets, I want to get at least 2 pure speed focused days in during the course of a week. Excuse me. So that's gonna be one. Depending on where we are in the season, we're talking in general terms here, but there's gonna be one day that's gonna be either really acceleration focused, particularly earlier in the year when you're working with developmental kids, or max velocity focus. You can do both at the same time, right? You have some, say, kids that did indoor. They're ready to do max velocity once you get to spring, but the kids that just come from like basketball or whatever don't know how to do anything, you have to do them excel work. I'm going to do another speed day during the course of the week. Again, if I did acceleration work on one day and I got some somewhat experienced or skilled kids, I'm going to do a VMAX day that second day, or maybe an alactic speed endurance type focus if it's early in the season, or regular speed endurance if it's later in the season. I want to get an intensive tempo day in, particularly for my 400 meter types, 300 meter types, even 200 meter types. So that's that 80 to 89% range. Pure extensive tempo day, looking at number 4. And that's a day where I really, for sure, I'm going to be very focused on not letting it turn into a lactic acid workout. It's going to be a true recovery workout. I don't want that mixed aerobic, anaerobic, intensive tempo. It's going to be something that we're looking at that's going to be more extensive tempo based, more recovery based, pretty easy mentally to do. Then that 5th day, this is where we start to get into some of the art of coaching, the gray area. It's going to depend on the athletes I have and the weather and the time of year and the other things. But I'm going to call it an extensive intensive day, meaning it's probably going to be a little bit more of a volume-ish type workout for these guys. It may start to become intensive tempo-ish, or there maybe start to get more of that lactate development depending on how much rest we have. I'm not going to be as concerned about getting their heart rate back down in that 120 or so range before they start running again, like on the day 4. But that's what I'm looking at. And then 6 is a general day, right? We can't work out every single day, so we're going to have that general type of bodyweight circuit, core circuit, long warm up with a stretch, ab, make jokes, play a game kind of stuff. And then 7th day is off. You have to give kids a full day off. We're never going to practice 7 days in a week. That's crazy. Excuse me. So you look at that. That's your that's what I'm looking at for a week, generally speaking. So now, how do we deal with that? Whether we have a meet or don't have a meet. So let's look at this next slide. Okay, so we have 2 microcycles. One on the left, no meet. One on the right, 2 meets. This is the exact same microcycle. So on the left, right, Monday, pretty straightforward. Monday is my general speed day. We do speed work, all things being equal, on Mondays. It's early in the week. It's a very intense day. There's a lot of skill involved. There's a lot of feedback going on, and a lot of things they have to learn how to do. So I did that early in the week. They had Sunday off. They'd probably be most likely ready to go. Come back on Tuesday. Right, this is going to be that day that's going to be that like extensive, intensive day. We're going to go 6 to 8 times 200 meters at around 75% of their 200 time with 2 minutes rest. The important thing here is you have to stick to that 2 minutes rest. They've crossed that line. 2 minutes from the second they cross that line, that whistle better be going off for the next one, or you're not running the workout well. This, depending on what you do with it, this is a classic 200 meter progression. This is not anything fancy. Depending on what time of the season is, etc. This could become a little bit lactic for some of your kids. 6 to 8 times 200. You might get a kid with 2 minutes rest if you really stick to it. That's an older kid or a workhorse type sprinter that might be able to get up to 10, but it's a rare occasion at this point in life. I'm doing more than 10 times 200 in a workout. What is the value of that? I'd rather shorten the rest and keep the volume down so your kids don't get shin splints all over the place, because I know I'm dealing with that right now from these low training age kids. Wednesday, right? We did Monday, came back Tuesday, did a little something, came back Wednesday. It's gonna be a general day. Gonna do some circuits, some abs, right? I'm gonna extend warm. I'm gonna make jokes. I'm gonna do that kind of stuff. Keep it light today. Do some like lower legs, shin splint kind of stuff. Then we're gonna come back Thursday and go fast again. So in this instance, we're going 2 to 3 sets of 3 times 60 meters, with 1 minute rest between each rep, and 6 minutes between sets. Here, we're getting acceleration work in, we're getting max velocity work in earlier on, and we're getting some of that little speed endurance work in, particularly important for your 200, 400 types. So we're going to get that stuff in, another quality day. Again, make sure that we're cueing kids that they all have to be exactly the same speed, the same amount of push, especially when you start to get tired, right? It's going, and again, as you can see here, I rarely have a set number of everything. 6 to 8 times 200, 2 to 3 sets, right? On Saturday, 2 to 3 sets. Depends on the kid. I'm not going to have a 14-year-old coming from basketball and an 18-year-old who does track year round doing the same workouts. That's crazy. So come back on Friday. 4 times 200-meter hills is this is like our true intensive tempo day, particularly early in the season. I love hill work if your geography allows it at about 80%, because you don't really know what 80% of a hill is. 3 to 4 minutes rest. So this is going to be fairly short workout, quick, but that third and fourth 200, going to start to hurt a little bit. Got to think. Come back Saturday again, tempo day. 2 to 3 sets of 5 times 100 meters, 70%. I'm probably not even going to time this because I'm going to have them run on the straightaway, jog on the corners. Easy stuff, right? That's our day. I took more time to set that up. Now, don't have a meet this week. Everything's lovely. Now, that's not the world we live in for the most part. The high school level, that's like a college schedule. Early in the season, of course, when the season starts, they can have weekend meets. So what are we doing? 2 meets. Let's say we got a meet. Now, again, meets, right? If you are going to be, if you're in the type of program that's trying to win stuff, you're going to be trying to focus and getting your kids ready for the championship season, right? I've coached in 3 different programs. 2 of the programs I'm in were focused on the postseason. One of the programs I was in is focused on winning some dual meets. And so you got to make these adjustments based on the staff that you're with, depending on whether they're a championship focused program or a let's have fun and have cookouts focused program. So Monday, 6 to 8 times 275%. That's what we would have done on Tuesday, right? I don't want to go too crazy with a meet on Tuesday, but it's a dual meet. I don't care if they're a little bit tired for a dual meet. It's a dual meet, right? Come back Tuesday, 400 4x4. I'm gonna have my long sprinter do a 400 4x4 this meet, right? That's going to a small degree, because it's early in the season, right? We're not doing a bunch of complicated stuff early in the season. So this is going to approximate, for the time of year we're in, the Friday workout with no meet. That lactic work, 4 times 200 hills, 80% with 3 or 4 minutes rest. Run 4 4x4. We're going to simulate as close as we can. We're going to make the best of a bad situation, what we got there. Wednesday, right, day between meets, come back, same as the other Wednesday. Thursday, come back, have them go 100, 200 long jump. 100, 200 long jump, get some of that speed endurance, special endurance in, get some speed and some acceleration work and then power work in with the jumps. They're going to get 3 jumps, right? That's what we're looking at. So there we're simulating really our Thursday workout from the no meet week. It's not the same. It's not ideal. We'd rather get practice in, but we can't. That's how we're living. Don't have that option. So we're going to approximate what we would have done on that Thursday, which is that max velocity / alactic speed endurance, regular speed endurance type day. Come back Friday. We're doing the recovery again. We're doing the same thing we did on Saturday of the no meet with that tempo work. Might make it another GS day depending on where we are in the season. Might make it another circuit type day. And then we're going to come back Saturday and get an acceleration day in. Keep it a little bit shorter, 6 to 8 times 30 meters, but we haven't got a true speed day in at all during this 2 meet week. And that acceleration work, that speed work, is the foundation of everything we do in the sprints and the hurdles and the jumps. So I've got to get that day in. So the important thing is you're not going to change your plan when you have 2 meets. You're going to try to just find a way to put your athletes in events that approximate what you would have done otherwise. Is it ideal? No, it's not. But you just got to make the best of the situation you're in. Try to move your kids around, and if you really have if you're the head coach and you're really a progressive type of person, or you work with a progressive coach, maybe you don't have the kids run 2 meets. Maybe you just have them run that Tuesday meet or Thursday meet, whichever one is more important. And you have them run a workout, or you bag out of that because dual meets aren't really that significant if you're a higher caliber program, particularly for your stud athletes. Yeah, your JV kids, they need the practice. So this is how I look at meets versus no meets. I look at the same kind of thing, following the same structure. I just have to kind of move things around during the week when I have non-meet days, and on the meet days I'm trying to approximate the quality work I would have done in practice, which is going to be your speed day or your special endurance day, etc. So hope that helps. Got questions? By all means, ask them below.